Just like Maya Aman LePage keeps coming back after a lip sync, we are flipping our way back to the mics as we continue with part 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16. I'm Grady.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Charisse.
And this is Highlights.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that there was a tie for Miss Congeniality? And can we also talk about the fact that one of the top 3 got Miss Congeniality?
Yeah, that was really interesting.
I found it awkward.
So there's been a lot of contention about this. So a lot of people were like, oh, they gave Sapphira Miss Congeniality because they weren't going to give her the crowd. And all of these things, which isn't how Miss Congeniality works on this show. So the queens do vote. It used to be the fans that didn't go so well after Valentina.
Fan favorite.
Yeah.
Then call it fan favorite, not Miss Congeniality. Huh?
Exactly. So now the queens obviously since then do vote. So I think the misconception was that prior to the queens getting to vote, the finalists were not typically included on the ballot, at least for the fans. So I think everybody assumed that was the case also going forward as the cast voted, because that tended to be how the cast voted. But from what has been clarified and from what it seems is that the finalists also have always been on the ballot for the contestants voting as well. It's just they themselves have never picked one of the top to also have it, but they genuinely felt, and I can't say I disagree, that Sapphira genuinely, yes.
Yeah.
But it does open the door to the possibility, because if Sapphira had in fact won the crown, and if she had pulled enough fan backing to sway production to give her the crown, because they filmed the 2 options between her and mhi'ya, she could have taken home 2 titles and a huge cash prize, because she got that bonus from Cash App. Yes. But it just seems like they genuinely felt like Sapphira deserved it. And there was 14 queens, so I think just 7 happened to pick Tsunami, 7 happened to pick Sapphira. And
well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at it.
I wonder who they are.
Because I also thought that Sapphira's confessionals were fantastic. Not necessarily giggle out loud the way that Dawn's made me giggle out loud.
Yeah.
But for sure, Sapphira is really nice. Yeah.
So, you know what bothers me is because she was painted as like the motherly, like older one in the room. You know, she's the more seasoned
grandma,
the more of age. Yes. She's 34.
I know. No one is old here. No one is old here.
Oh, you're not 19? Bye.
Yes. Yes. I was watching her What You Packin', and they were talking about how, like, oh yeah, like you're the mother of the thing, and Michelle was like, how old are you? She's like 34. And I went, what the fuck?
Exactly.
I was so upset.
Exactly.
I was so mad. So mad. And also, what is that going to make Chanel on Oscars? Whoa.
Great Grand Duchess Mama.
Yeah. She is Grandmother Willow in the tree. Like, she is something else. Yeah. That's what she is.
Chanel's not gonna like that.
As long as they tell her she's beautiful.
Yeah.
As long as they tell her she's a beautiful grandma, yes, she will like that. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Just don't tell her she has back fat like Alyssa Edwards, because she won't take that.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, she's of a certain age, but her face is like 10.
Botulism does help with that.
Yeah.
Botulism and the filters.
Just wait till those confessionals. She looks very different.
Is it like worth the All-Stars face that she already had for All-Stars?
Oh yeah, she looks like a different. It's like the role of Chanel is played by a different person.
Oh.
Imagine if it was though. That'd be hilarious.
Right. They just recast Chanel. Yeah, she looks very different.
As JoJo Siwa or what?
Oh.
Yeah, she Project Necromanced herself into a whole new body. Anyways, now we're talking about queens. That's not even on the season. So sorry.
I love this format.
I do too. I love this. Just do it. Let's just go through the entire Drag Race roster in history.
Where's Angina?
Yeah. Wow. What's your problem with Angina? Where is that?
Angina, where did she go?
Yeah.
Home.
Oh, I miss her no wig having little fascinator hat.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't go to the barber. Let's talk immunity potions, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
They were dumb. Anyway, moving on.
For sure
yeah, they were.
Yeah. It was so stupid.
Nothing.
And that was the whole point of the first 2 episodes. They get these immunity potions. Which, fun fact, I didn't get this reference, but I think they're supposed to resemble the Death Becomes Her potion.
Yeah.
Yes, they absolutely are.
I know it. I've never seen the movie.
So you need to go see it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? I'll give you my Voodoo login. I own it. You can watch it. It's really good.
It's pretty fantastic.
It's so campy. How have you never seen this before?
I don't know, Zach. I don't
log off right now.
It's true. We need to pause this. We're going to pause for 2 hours and we'll come back after we've watched it as a group.
There you go.
Watch party. I'm so excited.
Ooh. That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be super fun.
I remember it being on TV and like catching like part of the ending every once in a while. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. And then I would just kind of like exit the building.
That's so funny because the Boulet brothers literally reference it all the time.
Yeah, I feel like I see it referenced all the time and I'm supposed to really appreciate it. And I don't because I've never seen the movie.
So I feel like this is really weird because my homeschool self has seen it and yours hasn't.
Yeah.
Like, how did I see this part of pop culture?
I don't know. Maybe it was too campy for me. Yeah. I think I veered away from a lot of camp.
It's okay. It's not even a musical.
Yeah, there's no singing in it at all. You'll love it.
It's true.
Okay.
It helps.
Are you saying that so I'll be tricked into watching it or no? Okay.
No. There really isn't any music in it.
There really isn't a musical.
Look, if I turn this on and it's
we promise
me singing. Okay. Anyway, so the potions resemble the Death Becomes Her potion, which would be a really cool reference. And for those who've seen it, if the potions went anywhere, but they didn't because, and I hate Trixie Mattel. Not sorry. Whoa. We went to very different directions at once. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me back up. And hate is a strong word. I don't gravitate toward Trixie Mattel, but she did say something on one of the few pit stops I could stomach where she mentioned that the immunity potions and immunity in general tends to be kind of pointless and dumb, which is why we did away with immunity in the first place, because the people who win immunity end up being the people who don't need it. Yes. So if I could redo how they did it, I would give the immunity potions to the people who were in the bottom or who would have been, because nobody went home, who would have been eliminated.
Oh, that'd be kind of gaggy.
Right? Because one of them would have gone to a mandatory meeting and she could have used that potion.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Right?
That would have changed the game.
Right? And it would have created more drama between her and Plane because they can't get rid of a man. And, I think that makes it I think it changes the trajectory and makes it more interesting that way. But instead, they gave him to Plane and Sapphira, who were, as we saw from the track record, really weren't going to need them ever.
Yeah, like all season.
And Plane gives hers to mhi'ya, who, one, didn't need it the episode she drank it either, and two, nobody went home anyway. So nobody needed it.
Yeah, they were a waste of our time.
Absolute waste. Stupid.
It's true. I did see it that way. As far as a pointless storyline.
Yeah, it fizzled out. I hope I'm still intrigued by it. Like, I would love to see Rey to Queen, and I would love to see the potions come back. I just think that they need to really change how they're used.
Yeah.
See, I'd be down for Rey to Queen to come back. I don't know about the immunity potion. I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to that one, as far as whether I liked it or not.
Immunity. So I'm not a fan of immunity, and this is how I used to feel about it. But I've always had a problem with it because then I'm like, oh, it makes it unfair or whatever. Because then if they do bad or whatever, then they don't get kicked off, and they're probably should. But there's also a program where it's not a real game. Like, it's a production.
Shut your mouth.
Right. I know. They'll hear us while I was listening.
They're gonna come after you.
Yeah.
Non-believer.
Right. But production rigs this for storylines. So I think in that regard, immunity does make some for potentially more interesting storylines. So if you're going to use it, use it. So I don't know. I also think they said, oh, you can give away the potions, thinking, well, they'll just give it away to some of the filler queens they make friends with. But then the front runners kind of just banded together.
Yeah.
So, and Plane really banded with herself, which was the other thing. So she was going to use that in case
Plane
she
and
needed
Jade
it.
were the best of friends.
Yeah. And I can't be mad at it. Like, if I got my hands on an immunity potion, I'm not giving it away, whether I need it or not. It's mine.
I would
What
have
if
to
I do
agree,
need it?
right? And I really think that Plain Jane tipped the scales not in her favor to put herself in bottom 3 when she could have just easily drank the immunity potion and gone to the back of the stage.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I mean, I'm glad that it calmed Nymphia's anxiety, I guess, for 30 minutes. But she didn't need it. Plane didn't need to give it to her. Nobody went home anyway. Sapphira especially didn't need to drink hers when she drank her. The whole thing was just so disappointing. Like, I remember being like, oh, okay. I roll. And they asked about the stupid potions every week for like half the season.
Do you have a chocolate bar or a not chocolate bar? It's chocolate.
This stupid gimmick. Well, let's talk about drama.
Yes.
Which we got some. So Plane was just kind of like a force of drama. I wouldn't say that she necessarily had a lot of drama with people specifically. She had two kind of arguments that were prolific. She obviously had a whole thing with Amanda. She had that one spat with Q. But Plane is just kind of known for kind of like saying things the wrong way.
Did
maybe
Plane not
too
like Amanda?
honest.
Did I miss that somewhere?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think she made that very clear.
Yeah.
It was only for like an episode.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah. Sorry, Sharice. I think what bothered me, trigger warning. I think what bothered me about Plane is that it's not like she was having fights where then she would like make up or there's some resolution. Plane was just kind of like the way she is. And I did end up liking her more as the season progressed, but for especially that first half, I felt like it made her very unlikable, and I really struggled with that with her, especially with this whole Amanda stuff. Because I think there's a lot of stuff with the Amanda situation where she could have taken a higher road.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it seemed to come out of nowhere. Like there really was no obvious reason to have this beef with this person.
Yes.
Except that she didn't like her drag, but it's just like, okay, well then shut up about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't look. Weird concept, right?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
yeah. So there's this overarching thing with Plane where, one, I think it is partially a cultural thing, but there's something about her that's real guarded and defensive. And so it's like she leans into being the villain all the time. But I don't think she really needs to. And I feel like she struggles with that. And it's kind of hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, she was like that on Give It To Me Straight last week with Metamorphosis.
Oh yeah, did you watch that?
Yeah, we watched the whole thing, and it's this needless defensiveness that comes out of nowhere that you can tell even takes Maddie by surprise a couple times, because Maddie's just like, I'm just asking a question, like this is what you're here for, and
wow,
she would get really really defensive for really no reason. Like she's always ready for someone to attack her when no one, if for lack of a better phrase, no one cares. Like no one cares, girl.
Whoa.
Like you just do you. Like it's not that deep. It's not that serious. It's drag. You're a man in makeup and a wig. Like it's not that deep.
I feel like there's
oh my God, shut the up. Is that what they are? Men in wigs?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh my, would someone tell
like,
me
what
this
show?
stuff before we get 17 seasons into it? For goodness sake.
She's like, when are they getting in the race cars?
Confessional people were their brothers.
Yes.
Oh my God. No, I don't know. I think she has like an overall therapist in me thinks that there's probably a deep rooted issue and kind of the stuff that she shared that leads to this whole persona she has. But I also think it blocks her from truly presenting Plain for who Plain as a character is also.
Yeah.
And truly as a brand consistently, which I think is what messed her up in the end. So it's just interesting to watch because I feel like it feels like a lot of the drama centered around Plain, but really, like when you really break it down, it really didn't. It was just kind of the way she was kind of engaging. Yeah. Aside from Amanda was like a separate issue. The real drama this season, I feel, was Q.
Yes. Her confessionals were the exact opposite of Dawn, where I liked Q for the most part, and then really started to be like, but you thought you were supposed to win that, but you thought you were supposed to win that one, but you thought you were supposed to win that one, but you thought you were supposed to win that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wild. She had a fight with Plain because that was bound to happen, and I think those are two friends because I do believe that they are friends because I think they see some similarities there, but they're bound to clash, like probably for the rest of time. But they did have one kind of overarching thing. Then Q had an argument with Tsunami. Q had that larger one with Sapphira, which dragged on for days because she was like, you didn't deserve that win. I deserved it for no reason.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Q just kind of versus like Drag Race as a whole, like anytime she didn't win or when she got eliminated, how upset she was at the Lollapalooza. Like it just goes on and on.
This part of her personality was so ugly, and there was no redeeming part of her drag persona that saved it for me, except for one or two really good looks.
Yeah.
But even with the really cool looks that she brought, her personality killed it. I just couldn't. Which sucked because I thought I was going to like her when we started out, but she's just so full of herself. Like, girl, no one cares. Like, and the lack of self-awareness, like that whole thing with Tsunami was, like Tsunami was upset about something, right? And she was like, I don't know why you're taking it so personally. Like, but it was like the very next episode or the episode before that, Q was all pouty about not winning something in the same way, but it's okay for her to do it, but not for other people to do it. Like the lack of self-awareness just like blows my mind. And on top of that, she's really annoying.
Yeah. It was just a lot. I couldn't handle her. And she's got like this like Dan Levy way of speaking that I can't stand.
It's almost like, you know, have you ever been like at a kickback with people who are like super, super high, and there's a
Yeah.
certain way that they
Yeah.
talk.
What?
Where like they're on the verge of laughing after every word.
Yeah.
It was like that, and it was really irritating the entire season because there
Did
was
you
no break from it.
Did you see her? Because she didn't give it to me straight with Maddie also, and
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I saw the clip that Maddie posted of her, and it's exactly that. Where like it's
yeah.
almost like
I
she's
couldn't
on
get
a
through all of that
couch,
one.
like laughing, but
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
It's so bizarre. Yeah, yeah,
She just bugs. She's annoying.
yeah. She's, I don't know, really talented though. I will say, I liked
Yeah,
a lot of the
and
stuff she
that's
made.
even more annoying. It's like if it
Yeah,
wasn't for your terrible personality, I would think you're a really fierce queen, but I can't get past it. It's
yeah.
she bugs. Oh, she really thought she ate with this brick shit. I didn't think it's that funny. Like on
Well, it's
top of it.
because
Yeah.
it's because she did it, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's kind of funny." And then the next time, every time they did comedy after that, they're like, "Oh, like that's just kind of you reading jokes."
Being
Like,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay.
Sorry, I had a lot of feelings about her. She's
Yeah.
so annoying.
I loved her talent show. Her talent show cracked me up.
Yes, I
Yeah,
loved
the
that
talent show
too.
was funny. That was pretty cool. I like that. And that was the end.
And then 15 other episodes, like you were just done. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. You know where we didn't get a lot of drama, ironically, was Untucked. But what I
Okay.
did like is that we're back to official sponsored lounges. So this year we got the Lush Lounge, which was full of Lush cosmetics, complete with accented bubbly waters.
Were they cosmetic? I thought they were just the soaps. I thought they had like a table of soaps.
Oh, I don't know what they were exactly. I thought they were cosmetics. Isn't Lush like a cosmetic company?
I thought
Maybe
they were
They
I'm wrong.
bath
make like
bombs or something.
yeah, they make like handmade like shampoos, soaps, bath bombs, like bath products. I don't know that they do cosmetics, but they do.
Oh,
I mean, they're a cool store. Like they have cool products. It's all homemade, natural. They have really cool names and all that. But yeah, I think it's like bath bombs and bath soaps and stuff.
oh, that's stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, kinda. It's like this
Yeah,
is a really weird sponsor.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Interior Illusions Lounge was a furniture sponsorship. Interior Illusions was a furniture company.
I didn't know that. I just thought that was a really cunty name.
No. That's why it was called the Interior Illusions Lounge, just because they
I
had
just thought they were
that's
being really extra. That's so
no.
funny.
That's where the set dressing for the Untucked Lounge came from, was Interior
Oh,
Illusions.
I was unaware of that.
Nice.
Because I'd always say presented by Absolute Vodka, so I just thought vodka absolute paid for everything.
Much like this was also like they had the bubbly waters and stuff. So Absolute was always included in there because Absolute Vodka, cocktails perfected, uh was a big sponsor. But the
Huge
lounge itself was all
sponsor.
Interior Illusions
Yeah.
furniture.
Oh wow!
Because the winners used to headline the Absolute Drag Race Pride Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. And now they don't. Uh, now their big
That's
sponsors
true.
seem to be bubbly. Oh, I'm gonna go over this. I was like,
I feel like Sharon Needles was the last time that Absolute,
yeah, I think so.
and they were just
Um,
like, "Oh no, thank you. I'm not into this anymore. We're not going
yeah,
to do this anymore. We're not going to partner with Drag Race anymore." Like I
yeah,
feel like it was something about Sharon Needles, and then it was just done.
yeah. I think they just exited as a sponsor. I'm not really
I
sure
think
why.
so too.
Um, but yeah, so that's how that worked. But Untucked definitely felt like a waste of time.
Every week.
I
Yeah,
hate Untucked now.
yeah. Like it's just not. I'm on the
There's
verge.
no
Sorry, but I was gonna say, like, I was on the verge of honestly like skipping it. This is of being like, you know what? What do we call it here? Untucked is optional homework,
And I wouldn't
and
have
we
been
will
mad
move
about
on.
it.
Yeah.
I honestly felt the same way. And on the weeks
Mhm.
that we weren't able to watch together, I definitely didn't watch Untucked until like
Okay.
days later.
So then we do need to keep it, otherwise we won't watch it at all.
Correct.
Well,
Yes,
Okay.
there is
the
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
funniest part, from my perspective, the funniest part of watching Untucked is when we make one of the commercials in between, because there are
That's
so
true.
many. I don't even
Yes.
pay attention to what happens on Untucked because
That's true.
I don't care about the celebrity judge. I don't care if they come and share words of wisdom with them. It's the most boring shit ever.
That's
Let them
true.
drink hard liquor and fight. Otherwise, I don't want it.
I
That's
feel like a
true.
lot of the queens might be sober now.
Ew.
That's fucking boring.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I
Mirage
think
wasn't.
happened. But that's what I think happened to Untucked.
Yeah. They do limit it
Because
because of the concerns
but towards the
that
end,
arose.
everybody has the same straw color. Everybody has the same, like they all have ice in their glass, or they're
Mhm.
literally just drinking a buble.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those are alcohol free. So
Yeah.
like towards the last
Yes.
few episodes, I was like, wait, are we all sober in here? Nobody wants this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants this.
Yeah.
Like as messy as the boudoir is in Dragula, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I need Shangela and Mimi every single week, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't
No,
say
that's
no.
yeah, exactly.
there were some really
I'll rule it
good,
out.
solid gems. Even
Yeah.
in the sugar and spice season in Untucked.
Yeah. I
But that's just because they were stupid.
idiots. Um
I can't.
for what it's worth,
I
and
don't know why those two are on my mind right now. And I
yeah,
can't think of
why?
Jinx
Because they're
Monsoon's name
currently
for
being
some reason.
canceled.
Because what now?
Because they're currently being canceled.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Do you tell me what's happening?
By
I don't
by
care
both
about
by
social
both
media.
drag fans and the doll community because of a Starbucks commercial they did recently. And Starbucks is not the best company to be supporting right now. So they're getting a whole bunch of flack for it. It's kind of funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. Darn.
Yeah. Oh, they
It's
had
really
such
rooting for
promising
those
careers.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to being drunk. If not that it totally impacted Untucked in a big way, but I did appreciate the journey it took Mirage on. I don't think Mirage maybe appreciated it, but it was entertaining for me. Didn't know her words, falling around all over the stage. I love how stressed she was, and she's just downing drinks. No tucks. Like,
That was stressful.
yes, I'm all for that. So let him drink. That's what I say.
And kick the guest judges out. No one cares.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about them in a minute because that was a waste of my time too. And some of them
Especially
didn't
our
even care to
little
go back
Nepo
there.
babies that we got. Like,
I really need Tuve Lu to come back with the cake on her head. Like for
Oh,
me,
yeah.
that will
funny.
be the most
Whimsy.
epic guest judge we have ever had on Drag Race.
well, I
Hands
love
down,
the
period,
guest
the end.
judges when they're judging. I just don't care to have them in Untucked.
For sure. And
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was great. Love to see her.
Yes. She's probably my one exception because I love her.
Love to see Charlize Theron.
Yeah,
He
she's
did
right.
good. Wow.
We used to have some really good, great guest judges who gave great feedback while like they were on the panel, and we didn't have to see them in Untucked give the exact same advice and ask the exact same questions.
God, yeah, it's so
Yeah.
redundant. Like, I don't
It is.
care.
I appreciated Sarah. I appreciated Sarah because that's not, they must have paid her because not Sarah is not typically known for being super warm and fuzzy, to be honest.
Oh, is she not? I always
No.
thought that she would be. Like in my fantasies of meeting her, I always assumed that she would be nice.
Interesting.
She's very somebody. I was talking about this with somebody because they were talking about whether or not Sarah would do conventions and things like that because she's been on Buffy and she's in Star Wars and all in Wolfpack, which got canceled. But yeah, and even Cruel Intentions, which would bring a lot of like con following people. But there's this thing where she just doesn't want to talk to anybody and she doesn't like regular people. So she did a couple conventions as like promo, I think for Star Wars or something like that. And so they were sharing pictures of her, and it's very like, how in the Britney meet and greets at her residency when they like weren't allowed to touch her and they would have like the huge, she was very like that. She'd be like, and there'd be like a mile between her and like the regular people. Things like that. She would get mad for like having to sign something extra. She would just kind of write her name. Stuff like that.
I guess disappointing as a fan, but I understand that it's not, that kind of stuff isn't everyone's bag.
Yeah. And even even on Buffy, like James Marsters has talked about how she would kind of just go back to her trailer and she would only kind of talk to the people that she really like deemed worthy.
Wow.
Yes. So
interesting.
Yeah.
That's super interesting considering that she tried out for Buffy like 3 or 4 times and they kept trying to cast her as Cordelia.
Yeah. Yep. So
Sarah, if you're watching, what the hell?
Because that trajectory would have been completely different.
It seems like once she deems you worthy, like then she is very nice. There's gotta be something like in it for her or something like that. I just don't think maybe she just likes, maybe she doesn't like people like as a whole, which is fair, but the way she comes off then as a result, especially when she's in a business where she makes things that tons of people consume, it just seems weird.
It's a little problematic.
Right.
I mean, as an introvert who really doesn't like to touch people, I totally understand where she's coming from.
Right.
And then as a fangirl of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, kind of don't get it at all. But then the introvert in me is like, oh, no, it's cool. At least she's not hiding in the bathroom and you actually get to see her. So she's better than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, even Trixie is like that, right? You're going to love this critics. You love Trixie. Even Trixie is like that, where she doesn't like to be touched or hugged because she just feels like there's a personal space issue. But she's still typically very happy to meet people, take pictures with them. And it doesn't feel like given that I know this now about Sarah, I feel like I, as a fan, would feel awkward if I met her and she was that standoffish. And it might warp my perception of me being a fan. I think there's a way as an introvert to do that without damaging that relationship between fan and
star.
Oh my God, please tell me how.
I'm sure there is a way. I am just a fan, not a star. I probably couldn't enlighten you on that, but as like, someone who met their hero Ahsoka at Disneyland, let me tell you, it really sucks when it doesn't go well.
I have encountered Sarah briefly in person.
And how was that?
This is now a Sarah Michelle Gellar podcast.
Yes, it's true. Sorry, Susan.
This is our last story. Sorry. But when I did the red carpet for the People's Choice Awards, which was now like 10 years ago, I think exactly 10 years ago, she was like the only person who didn't want to talk to anybody. She didn't want to do interviews. She didn't want to engage with anybody. She wouldn't look at anybody. Like, all of that. So she walked by me and stuff, and we're all saying hi to her, and it was very like, oh, to everybody, like, oh hey, like, oh hey, and then she would move on. Everybody else would like stay, hang out, take pictures. They were doing interviews with the media and stuff, and waiting to take turns so they could do interviews and stuff. Like people usually chill on the carpet, and she was not having it. She didn't give a didn't want to do any of it. So
I mean, I'd
media
stay and
or
talk to
otherwise.
Joan Rivers for sure, but beyond that, I don't know that
Yeah, she didn't want any of it. And she looked, and to be fair, maybe, and this is why I'm like, maybe she just doesn't like people. Maybe there's like a thing about it, because she just looked very uncomfortable too.
Yeah. And that's valid. Like, I mean, that's, if that's how you are around people, I get it.
I did scream at her, so maybe that was part of it. But
I did lodge a water bottle to get her attention, and maybe that could have had something to do with it.
Yeah,
I tried to grab her ankle and she kicked me.
Yeah, no, but she was like that with everybody. Like as she came in and she took like a shortcut, so she didn't have to even engage with the people on the other side of the carpet. It was this whole thing. But I did yell at her. I was like, "Snap!" And she was like 2 feet from me. Like there was no need to yell. Like for sure, like she could hear me just fine. But I'm like,
oh my god.
Yeah, very that. Anyway, but the guest judges were fine. Yeah, guest judges were fine for the most part. But nothing really special, I don't think. Was kind of the moral of that whole thing. Oh, I did want to go over this. So if you remember, at the end of last All Stars, we talked about rumored casts for everybody, and this was still in my template. I just thought it was funny because look at some of these pictures. Wow. So
that's Megami?
Yes. So the last time we all recorded.
Oh my gosh, I do remember looking at these.
Yes. And I went over and said, hey, this is who to expect for season 16.
I got Trixie vibes from a mandatory meeting.
Yeah. Look at that.
Trixie Mattel vibes.
Look at these.
Mirage looks like a what was her name? Amethyst from last season.
Yeah. Dawn looks cute. I appreciate Dawn. But yeah, Megami looks very different. Amanda looks very different.
How does Mhi'ya Iman LePage almost look like Janet Jackson in this photo right now? Maybe even a little LaToya. Like, that's not her. Who is that?
It's not what she was given either.
Plain Jane is Plain Jane.
Look at mhi'ya.
Plasma's plasma.
Plain looks the same.
It was cute.
Right?
Yeah. That's a really cool wig for Sapphira.
I love Sapphira's wig.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Morphine looks a little different.
Gorgeous as always. Yeah, Morphine looks really different.
mhi'ya looks very different.
Her makeup.
So fun fact. I watched mhi'ya's What You Pack, and I don't know if any of you guys did.
I don't think I made it there yet.
So they were talking about this yellow thing in the bananas. So all of that is new. So she said a couple years ago, because she makes a lot of her own outfits. A lot of the stuff she wore on Drag Race, she made herself, right? So she said one day during the pandemic, she made an all yellow outfit, and she was like, oh, I like this color.
Huh.
That was it. And she was like, oh, it kind of reminds me of bananas. Bananas are funny.
Well, all right then.
Prior to that, none of that was in her brand.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not mad at it.
Go on.
But also, to a certain extent, it's marketing genius.
Yeah. It is.
I feel like at certain times she leaned into it a little too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
But even watching some of the runways back, I was like, oh, she just did yellow nails in this one. That's right. Or
Yeah.
like, oh, there's just a little spot of yellow here or a little piece of yellow here. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was kind of like Raja in purple. Like that became her whole personality.
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
was there. And it was fierce.
Still
like,
is. Yeah.
Amazing in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe people just find their color.
Sorry, now we're going through these. Remember when Taste was an alternate for All Stars 9, and I think Janie Jacquet was an alternate, and I don't think either one ended up making it, obviously. But everybody else did. That's nice. I don't know why these are here.
I'm so excited to see Angie.
Yes.
Too.
Oh, Janie. Yeah, she didn't make it.
I know.
I was hoping
I
she
took her
would.
over Gottmik.
Yeah. Mystique, Nina. Nina's getting canceled too, so get ready for that.
Is she really?
Yeah. Essentially the same reason.
Yeah.
Starbucks?
Sort not directly Starbucks, but the whole problem with Starbucks right now is because of the Israel-Palestinian conflict. And Nina, for example, spoke in favor of Israel, and so a lot of people are dragging her. Politics.
So politics are everywhere, but you're also not allowed to speak about them at the same time, which is very awkward for me.
Yeah. There's Chanel.
So they're everywhere and nowhere, and the elephant in the room. Yay.
Yep. Very much that.
Yeah, Chanel does not look like herself at all.
And she looks different even from this.
I mean, gorgeous.
I will tell you that. I'll tell you that right now.
But doesn't look like Chanel at all.
Yeah. And that is where we are going to stop part 2. Be on the lookout next week for part 3 as we conclude our season review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16. If you are listening to us on a podcast platform, please subscribe and leave us a review. We would really appreciate that. If you are watching us on YouTube and enjoying us there and enjoying all the visuals I've prepared, please hit the subscribe button to the PG Media channel so you don't miss out. Also, leave a like and a comment. We'd appreciate that as well. So, with that being said, as always,
Thank you for watching highlights.
And we will see you next time.